I was a newborn baby, but he was so scared by the midwife that he almost threw it out. Even the first time I drank milk, what was sucked out was blood. Even my mother pushed me away in pain. Even the villagers thought I was a demon. It is recommended to throw it into a mass grave. Grandpa also committed crimes. Please come to Wu Bangxian in a hurry. See my appearance. He exclaimed that the child was not simple. Fear of being a demon, live on blood. Can't stay. Wu Bangxian said that the only way is to worship him as a teacher. Unexpectedly, he suddenly died when he carried me out of the village entrance. He became my first victim. This Wu Bangxian said that I will bring Yingjie. Can't support it at home at all, must go with him. And as an apprentice, there is a chance of survival. And he also said that even if you practice the art of Xuanmen with him, it is also very difficult to pass the three tribulations. The worst disaster is at the age of 9. Die if you can't make it through. There will be a turnaround. After grandfather and father discussed, it's better to be alive than dead. At least there is a thought. So I agreed. Wu Bangxian hurriedly took me away, as if afraid that we would regret it. But the villagers soon discovered Wu Bangxian's body. He died horribly, orifices bleeding. Frightened face, I was scared to death, and I was lying there next to him. Don't cry or make trouble. My parents had to take me home, but because of this, he lost a sum of money to Wu Bangxian's family. The already poor family situation is even worse. Then the master told me that Wu Bangxian died because of a bad heart. He carried me away to covet the same thing on me. Thing and want my life. Let's put that aside. The police said that after my father took me home, the whole family began to worry again. Wu Bangxian's words are hard to distinguish between true and false. His sudden death made my family even more afraid of me. The villagers also thought I was a lost cause, killed at birth. My food supply was a problem. No milk, only blood. I haven't eaten a single bite of food since I was born. I'm always hungry and crying. Grandpa and father are worried about tea and don't want to eat. Mother also wept silently. One night, my father went out to the latrine. I heard a faint sound in the yard. A light shines. I actually saw a few white-haired foxes and yellow-skinned foxes. Eyes shining in the dark. Sneaky. He was so angry that he picked up the brick and threw it at them, hitting the big white fox on the windowsill. The fox screamed. Looked back at me viciously. His father was too scared to move. Grandpa heard the noise. Knife out, although nearly 70 years old. But the grandfather who served as a soldier to fight the Japanese is still in good health. Scared the beasts and ran away. Father said he saw animals wandering around the yard. Grandpa sighed. Why are you getting old? At this time. He found several dying hares in front of the house. There are also bloody holes in the neck, like being bitten by a beast. Father guess? These hares were sent by foxes and yellow hides. Grandpa nodded. Decided to release the blood and feed it to me. The rest of the meat is enjoyed by the family. Those animals often bring game. Sometimes it's a pheasant, a hare. Sometimes there are fish for me to catch and drink blood. The family also eats meat, by the way. Gradually, there was meat at home every day. Better than others. I couldn't eat meat a few times a year before. Later, the villagers waited. I often see yellow skins and foxes wandering around my house, although initially surprised and frightened. I'm getting used to it. I still envy our family's life. And as usual, it's not surprising to see these abnormal situations. It's been 3 years in a blink of an eye. Every day, animals send game to help us. The family has gained a lot of weight. I also grew up, except for drinking blood. Just like a normal child. The white hair that looked weird at birth is gradually fading. The face is getting more and more normal, even delicate. As the 3rd birthday approaches, Pang Fo's words echoed in my ears. Grandpa and father became increasingly worried. Wu Bangxian said that I was born to be robbed. 1 every 3 years, now 3 years old. I don't know what disaster will happen. Sure enough, 3rd birthday, A man died in the village. Everyone says it's my fault. Once again, pointed the finger at our family. I was 3 years old when I suffered a severe drought. Third birthday. The adults in the village have gone to water the ground. Leave me alone at home. And left me a bowl of pheasant blood. If you are hungry, drink it yourself. Although only 3 years old. But I'm smarter than the average kid. Also very obedient. Just playing alone in the yard. It's been like this for years. No child wants to play with me. Because the adults at home don't allow it. Said I was a natural freak. The day the people in Harmony Village avoided me like a snake and scorpion. I was alone in the yard, playing with a piss ant nest. Suddenly, I heard the sound of children playing outside the yard. And I was hooked. For 3 years, I rarely left the yard. The villagers dislike me. Everyone hides when they see it. But I'm so desperate to have a playmate, even if someone talks to me. I ran to the gate. Through the crack in the door, see the small sand dunes ahead. There are 4 or 5 children playing in the sand. Talk and laugh. My heart is itchy. I just want to play with them too. He ran over without thinking. As soon as the children see me. A terrified expression. An older kid called out, "Freak! Here comes the blood-drinking freak. Whoever talks to him is out of luck." A few children ran away immediately. I'm all alone. Stand there and see them run away. I feel lost, but I still think it's okay. You can play by yourself. Pick up a tool to play with the sand. Just squat it down. Suddenly, I heard a voice coming from the other side of the dune. "Let's play in the sand together." Looking up, it's a chubby kid, about my age, dressed clean, hanging 2 strings of snot. I smiled at him. He also told me to play together. We built a big house. We powdered our crotch pants, had a great time. After a while, the little fat man suddenly took out a piece of candy and handed it to me. Say sugar is sweet, I've never eaten candy. Because in addition to writing, I haven't eaten anything else. But I took it and I put it in my mouth. How did you do it? Didn't taste anything. But the little fat man is nice to me. I want to be nice to him too. Tell him I have something delicious too. I'll get it for you. You're waiting to run back into the house talking. Bring out the bowl of pheasant blood that my parents left for me. Demonstrate a sip. Little fat man, look at me drinking happily. Giggle. Also pick up the bowl and drink. But not steady. Spilled it all on himself. This is my ration. It's all heartbreaking. I don't know what to do. Suddenly, I heard a hysterical wailing from behind. "You freak! How dare you harm my son?" The evil woman rushed over, lift up my collar, throw it out hard. I was thrown to the ground, crying in pain. See not far. There are a few green eyes staring at me and the woman. The evil woman picked up the little fat man. Distressed inspection. Although not injured. But it's all blood. Still confused. Went up next to me and kicked me hard. "You goddamn little beast! How dare you feed my son blood? See if I kill you." I got kicked and rolled away. It hurt so much that I can't cry. Just then, Grandpa came back with a hoe. See the evil woman and hit me. Immediately rush over and push her away. Angry Road, 3rd daughter-in-law. "Why are you hitting my grandson?" the evil woman said angrily. "You have the nerve to ask." She actually fed my son blood. "In case you eat something good, I'll let your old Wu family take your life." Grandpa picked me up. When I saw my face full of tears, I can't be distressed. Look at that little fat man again. Startled. A bowl of blood spilled all over him. Bloody. Know the loss. After my grandfather apologized, carry me home. But the evil woman stood at the door and cursed. Attracted many neighbors to watch. I lay in my grandfather's arms. You can also see green eyes, staring at us in the grass. Grandpa put me down and said, "Xiaoji, didn't I tell you to stay at home? What were you doing out there?" Jay is my nickname. His name is Wu Jie. Because Wu Ban first said that I was born in an emergency. There are 18 heroes in a lifetime. So Grandpa picked a suitable name. I sobbed till the end. I wanted to play with him. He gave me candy. I gave him something to eat. Grandpa sighed. There is nothing we can do. Child, I only feel like giving my most precious things to my friends, even if it is good. After parents come back, I heard what happened. Taught me a lesson. They never let me go out. I thought it was over. The results are just beginning. Next morning, someone found the body of the third daughter-in-law. Miserable death. Bitten by some beast, especially one foot that was gnawed to the bone. What's even scarier is, the chewed foot happened to be the one that kicked me. The death of Ma Lao-san's third daughter-in-law is very strange. According to Ma Lao-san, he and the child went back to sleep that day and were fine. I heard movement in the yard in the middle of the night. Farm work during the day. Exhausted. I can't even keep my eyes open. It seemed as if someone was calling his wife's name. I don't know if I'm asleep. After a while, Ma Lao-san's wife suddenly got out of bed. Sleepy Ma Lao-san asked him what he was doing, but he didn't respond. Ma Lao-san thought he was going to the thatched hut, go back to sleep. Woke up the next day. Found his wife not in bed. I searched all over the village and couldn't find anyone. Finally, his body was found in the back mountain. When everyone saw the body of Ma Lao's third daughter-in-law, too scared to approach, the corpse is covered with bloody bites. One foot was gnawed to bone, with a weird smile on the corner of his mouth. Died so miserably, still laughing. It's kind of creepy to think about. Ma Lao-san was crying after the villagers helped him collect the body. According to the village tradition, it needs to be parked at home for 3 days before being buried. In these few days, one after another, people came to offer their condolences. All neighbors in the same village. Looked down at each other. My dad also bought some paper money to offer condolences to Ma Lao-san's daughter-in-law. And something weird happened. Everyone else burns paper well. It won't burn out. The yellow paper my dad bought was thrown into the brazier. Can't burn. Poured high wine. Only half burned. Extinguished soon. Suddenly, a strange wind blows. The ashes of the brazier blew my dad's face. This paper can't burn. My dad put on 3 sticks of incense again. The result just ignited. The incense on both sides is broken from the middle. Only 1 stick of incense left in the middle is intact. This situation is obviously that the deceased has a grievance. Dissatisfied with the person who came to offer incense. My dad was so scared that he rushed home and told his grandpa. Grandpa sighed and knew it wasn't easy. In fact, I understand that everyone knows. The death of Ma Lao-san's wife has something to do with me, because he beat me up. Something happened at night. Wu Bangxian said that I have a calamity every 3 years. I'm not dead. Someone else dies. Now, Ma Lao's third daughter-in-law is dead. It answered my call. And the wound on his body is obviously the bite mark of a beast. Looks like yellow leather and fox bites. The whole village knows. The day I was born, hundreds of yellow skins, and foxes swinging around my door. Deliver game to our house every day. Now the villagers are talking. Said I killed Ma Lao-san's daughter-in-law. And people were just skeptical at first. But the next day, things have changed dramatically again. All the guesses are yes. Because that night, my whole family had the same terrible dream. Except me. Mengli Ma's third daughter-in-law came to my house, with 1 foot on fire. The other foot is a white bone, with a sinister smile on the corner of his mouth. Tell my family I killed him. Tell my family to kill me. Otherwise, the entire Wu family will be buried with them. And Ma Lao-san also dreamed of his daughter-in-law crying. Said I killed him. Tell him to kill me, so that he can leave with peace of mind and reincarnate. Early in the morning, Ma Lao-san came to the door with a chopping knife. Eyes full of murderous intent. Ask for an explanation. Parents are terrified. I don't know what to do. Finally, Grandpa came forward. Push me to the front, said with a cold face. If you really think this child harmed your wife, you can kill him. Apologize to your wife. Do it if you have the guts. How dare Ma Laosan really do it? Finally left in disgrace. Ma Lao's third daughter-in-law should be buried. It was a grey day. There was no wind. A few young men in the village carried the coffin, but the coffin just arrived at the door. This ominous omen changed everyone's face. There is a saying in the village, the coffin is out of the house. It can't be landed until the goal, but just out the door. The rope breaks. The coffin slammed to the ground. Very unlucky. Something big is about to happen. Ma Laosan lay on the coffin and cried bitterly, crying and begging his wife, if there is any grievance, go find the person who hurt him. Don't torment your family. I was crying when I heard a chirping sound, just like the day I was born. Hundreds of yellow appeared at the door of Ma Laosan's house, leather and fox. The leader is yellow-skinned and huge. There is a white hair on the back. This yellow skin comes with hundreds of yellow skins and foxes. Rushed to the coffin, so scared that people around them backed away. Some collapsed in fear. The yellow leather with white fur. Walked 3 times around the coffin. Stretch out furry claws. 3 shots in a row. Thump, thump. And the herd moves away. Some young men were trying to lift the casket, miraculously lifted, after 3 shots of the coffin. Finally got buried. However, the next day, the tomb of Ma Lao's third daughter-in-law was found to have been excavated. It's even more terrifying. It also sent the whole village into panic.